But we are definitely going to invite Nahla to come up and give us a little bit of her time and speak to us as our fearless leader and dedicated member of our cause.
This time I have my glasses. Good evening, dear friends and family. As we celebrate another year of service tonight, we look not only at the past 21 years, but at the next 21 years and beyond. Tonight, my brothers and sisters in humanity, I wish to share with you the plan for our future. Before I do that, I want to share with you a story that's very dear to my heart. It's a story that I have shared with my children and my grandchildren. It's a very famous children's book called The Giving Tree. In this story, a little boy is friends with the generous tree that gives her unconditional love to the boy with her shade and company. As the boy grows and attempts to build his life, the tree gives the boy her branches to construct his house. Then she gives him fruit so he can sell them and feed his children. Then the tree gives him her entire trunk until he cuts her down to a stump. Then she gives him a seat for him to sit on and continue to give time and time again. She lived up to her name, the Giving Tree. The Giving Tree kept on giving, and that's why it is exactly like Access California Services. Because AccessCal has giving, continue to give, and will continue giving in the future. And just like a tree that starts as a seed and grow to give more, AccessCal grew from a small seed that was planted by a wonderful organization, Community Action Partnership of Orange County, an organization that believed in my vision and gave me the seed money of $2,000 to begin our mission of giving. Tonight, their sponsorship is more than $2,000. Thank you, Community Action Partnership. And now, 21 years later, AccessCal is giving by serving more than 10,000 clients a year. They receive more than 50,000 services. We as an organization have been strongly rooted in the community and have had the means to serve and give because of our strong roots. You are these strong roots. Our roots are the incredible. Supporters, donors, and partners like you. AccessCal will always be dedicated to giving. And in order to keep giving in a manner that our community deserves, in 2018, we took the initiative to conduct a need assessment of our low-income community. Through these results, we learned how great the demand is for services. The community even stated a desire for more services, and we want to respond to this need. and I am hoping we can do this together. Currently, AccessCal has reached its maximum capacity in service. We cannot offer more without expanding to a larger space. To respond to the need, we must expand our growth. We are in the process of searching for our new future home, a new home that will be expansion to what we already have, a full-fledged community center. I want you to take a moment with me and envision what will be the center. As you know, we already deliver employment services, health coverage access, immigration and citizenship services, client advocacy, housing assistance, emergency financial assistance, an after-school program, ESL classes, and mental health services, and many more. Thank you. We can expand our mental health clinic and add a mini health clinic, which doctors on site to address the medical needs of our community members who come from low-income households. We can expand our senior program by adding an adult daycare center. We want to provide daily space on site for our older community members to engage in recreational activities that will have them to be fulfilled in their later stage of life. And they will also benefit from our clinic to have doctors on site. We can expand our computer lab where community members can come in and use computers toward their homework, job searching, and any other need they may have. For some, newcomers cannot have access to computers. We can add 4 more classrooms. We currently serve more than 75 students a day, but we need more classroom space. It is important that each student experience a dignified education. Classrooms needing more space are our English as second language, parenting, group therapy, vocational training, self-help, health education, citizenship training, and micro-enterprise. We can expand to add a fitness center for low-income community members, for those who would rather go to a culturally sensitive, trusted space to enjoy fitness classes with free access to equipment. We can expand to add a gallery to recognize the diversity in community cultures, and to do this where artists, authors can share their work and host events. We can add a child care center where moms and dads are not limited to receiving services because they have no one to watch their kids. We will care for their children as they receive services to improve their lives. We can respond to our community need. And all these services was a result of our need assessment. This will be our future home of giving to serve our underserved community members in the way they deserve to be served, to preserve their dignity. But we need your support to make this possible. Nothing is more powerful than giving. Lastly, I want to share with you and think about a wise word of a famous American author. His name is Harriet Jackson Brown Jr., and he said, "Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more. Because when you give, you receive. And when you give AccessCal, also AccessCal can give." not only as a giving tree, but as a giving forest. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nahla. Your compassion, your dedication, and your leadership is something we would not be able to do without. And we really appreciate that. I would like to give you one more round of applause for the room for all your dedication. So now we'd like to bring up a new part of our program. Nino Abushi is a member of our community. He's married with 3 children, resides in Diamond Bar. He's the president and founder of Superior Malpractice Insurance Services. And he's an active member in our community for the last 20 years. So we'd love it if you come up with us and speak.
Salam. Good, I woke you up, right? Good, excellent. Salaam alaikum. For non-Arabic speaking, I greet you with the greeting of peace. And Nahla, is there anything that Access doesn't do? I mean, there's nothing left, right? So one stop shop, or one shop stop. May Allah bless you and reward you for the work with all the workers that said. Can we get the lights? I can't see you, but you can see me. See, I was supposed to come after a video, so now I've been instructed that the video will be playing. So I'll go back to my seat and I come back again.
It was the lights being out. We appreciate it. But we have a fantastic video that we'd like to show you. It represents Access California and all of our services. It's a wonderful tribute video. If we could actually play that video now and then turn down the lights again. Thank you. Such an extremely powerful video. And thank you, Ziad, for putting that together. It was definitely something that came to life for everyone. Just some housekeeping items. Just want to let you know that the silent auction is coming to a close. So if you haven't bid on anything yet, now would be a good time. We also here at Access, we're trying to save one marriage at a time as well. So we know that Valentine's Day is coming up, and the wonderful orchids at the center of your tables are for you to take home with a donation, of course, and we really appreciate that. Now, we definitely would like to bring up Nino Abashi, and go ahead.
No more. Thank you. That's for him. Please close your eyes for one moment and count your blessing. Please do that. You can have a lot of money, but you still live a very poor life. And you can have no money at all, but still live a very rich life. It's all about giving. And we're going to come to that later on, inshallah. But before we do that, 2 things I need to let you know. We all have these magic machines, right? So please pull it out. I know the list is about over 100 for sure. Take 5 people and tell them that you are at Access California, doing the right things, helping people with integrity. Okay? So just go ahead. Let me see you do this. Number 1. Number 2, please do this. I am not your typical fundraiser. I'm going to interact with you. That means if I ask you to raise your hand, please do that. Okay? You're not in classroom, but we're going to interact with each other. With that said, I had the opportunity to be here about 3 or 4 years ago, and for some reason I did not. Until recently, I visited Access California, and I had the tour. With that, how many people in the audience has really visited Access California? Raise your hand, please. The good thing is I can't see, and I'm not going to ask you to stand up. But is that half of you here visited Access California? You can communicate with yes or no. Great, great. How many of you think it was $1,000 a year contribution? Not donation, contribution. There is a difference between donation and contribution, and I tell you what that means later too. How many? Raise your hand and keep it up. You serious? Oh, I repeat the question. Okay, I'll make it simple. How many think that Access California worth $1,000 a year? Good, much better, much better. Okay, put your hands down, and the next one is $5,000 a year.
So we have a bit of bad news, and that we'd like to make everyone aware that Sarir Al-Salam's wife is in the hospital, and we'd like to take a moment and do a quick dua for her. And we're going to have actually lead it for us.
Let us make dua for Sister Bushra Aslam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give her shifa. Allahumma shfi anta shafi, la shafiya illa anta shifaan la yughadiru suqma. Allahumma shfi anta shafi, la shafiya illa anta shifaan la yughadiru suqma. Allahumma shfi anta shafi, la shafiya illa anta shifaan la yughadiru suqma. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. Rabbi ighfir warham wa anta khairur rahimin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the shifa. شفاء لا يغادر سقما رب اغفر وارحم وانت خير الراحمين صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وأصحابه وأتباعه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
Okay, so we're going to definitely move on with a great part of the program, which will be our keynote speaker. She is a Nicaraguan native who fled the Civil War. She's settled in Orange County, and it's been her mission to seek justice in the workplace for her colleagues. At age 26, she was elected as the first Latina president of Unite Her Local 681, and we have a pleasure to have her here with us tonight. All right, thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Ahlan wa sahlan. I would like to acknowledge the great leadership of Nahla Kayali. Thank you. I'm honored to be here tonight. My name is Ada Briseño, and I'm here to share my immigrant story. February 14th, 1980, I came to this country, came with some of my family, but unfortunately, not all of us can make it. We came to the United States of America because the only place we had called home, Managua, Nicaragua, was no longer safe for our family. It was literally on fire. My country had gone through civil war. We watched our friends, our neighbors, and even some of our family members die. You see, they did not make it here. I lived through a dictator who tried to rob us of our dignity. When I say how honored I am to be here in this room with you tonight, I truly mean it. Leaving the only home I'd known to come here was not easy. My family struggled. We struggled with money, food, depression, language, and simply just fitting in. I went to school, and what I expected to learn was civics, economic, and spelling. But instead, what I learned was that my accent, my history, my struggle would be used by some to beat me down. For me, there were some words that I could just not say in English. It took me some time to lose the fear of saying certain words. Those words that would make me feel and sound different. Yellow. This simple word yellow triggered fear in me. To this day, that word brings me right back to a moment when I was 11 years old. My father had given me $20. For our family, $20 was a ton of money. He sent me across the street to Tommy's Burger. Not only were we getting an all-American burger, but we even got to have fries and soda. Today, we weren't going to eat top ramen like most days. My hands, full of this feast to bring back to my house, couldn't rise up against the blows raining down on me from a group of teenage girls who decided on that day to beat me. They beat me because I was different and I spoke weird. They broke my collarbone. But as painful as the assault was on my dignity, looking at the ground and seeing those burgers, fries, and soda spread all over the street tore me up inside. After being silenced in Nicaragua, something as simple as not being able to sing revolutionary songs, here I was in the US, feeling like I had to keep silent once again so I wouldn't get beat down. I didn't know how to defend myself, not just physically. And many of you may even relate to this, but I didn't know how to defend myself as a person of color, a young woman whose voice was different. This wasn't the only day I felt I couldn't speak or that my voice mattered to anyone. When I found myself in a space in Orange County where immigrants like me were not respected or were taken advantage of in the workplace, is when my instincts were activated. Why shouldn't we be treated with dignity and respect? Why shouldn't we have our rights respected as workers in this country? Many years later, I found my voice while working at a hotel, where for the first time I can speak out for my rights. I was no longer that little girl lying flat on her back on Gaffey Street. I was becoming more confident and sure that I too deserved to have my labor honored. I was finding my power by helping others I worked with find their own voice. We organized, worked together. We didn't let anyone tell us that our voices didn't matter. You see, sometimes they can pick on you, or they can pick on me, but they can't pick on us. I learned that it isn't just about our pain, which is very real, but it's about everyone who is being oppressed, kept down, looked past, looked over, and ignored, and giving them the tools to find their own path. That's when I found my journey of being a community organizer. We came to America to build a successful career, to provide a great education for our children, to become homeowners. We came here for our American dream. Today, I serve at the pleasure of over 30,000 hotel workers as co-president of an organization that fights for collective rights. Workers right here in this hotel who served you tonight. I was just elected as chairwoman of the Democratic Party of Orange County, and thank you. And this is my American story. My family, like many of yours in this room, could have benefited tremendously from Access California when we first came here. I'm looking at some of the faces in this room that once perhaps looked like mine, disoriented, confused, out of place, like we didn't belong. But now we are here. We're standing out, we're standing strong, and we're owning this space. There is no organization here in Orange County that provides so many life-affirming and critical and vital services to immigrants like Access California. Access California case management means that once they step foot in this space, they will be heard. They will be blanketed by people who will identify the services that fits their needs. And together, with the person's desired and hard work, they will uplift them and their families to fulfill their lifelong path. Need help with English as a second language? They have it. Need help with filling out immigration forms? Access has it covered. Housing is kind of important. They help. Feeling overwhelmed, depressed? Access California has individual, couples, and family counseling, cultural adjustment, and help with identity struggles, along with stress and anger management. Access California recipients are inspired to be part of healthy communities, and they become full contributed citizens of our great country. They have been helping expand the electorate by guiding residents to naturalize and become American citizens, and most importantly, voters. Citizens who understand the importance of their vote to make sure their values are uplifted. Access California is helping immigrants like many of you and I to preserve our dignity. This is what community looks like, feels like, and this is what community does. There's so many moments in my immigrant story when I wish that I could have had access, their support system. You all know what great pillars they are in our community. How many more people can you help escape domestic violence when you decide to pay it forward? How many more women can we help to be present mothers while at the same time assisting in moving them forward to self-sufficiency? How many more women, men, and children can we help heal from post-traumatic stress to help keep them alive with their suicide prevention resources? I'm so motivated by the tenacity and drive they model and instill for us in our community. I invite you all to pay it forward, to pay forward the priceless dignity in our lives. Access California can help so many others preserve their dignity too. Give someone the enrichment you are experiencing and bring this enrichment into someone else's life. Will you contribute tonight in preserving dignity in our community? Access California is working very hard every day to build the bridges for us to cross and steps for us to climb over that wall. As Martin Luther King Jr. reminds us, let us build bridges, not walls. Thank you.
Ada, if we can actually have you come back up, we'd like to present you with an award, and along with Nahla and Khalud, please. Also, the silent auction has been closed, so we thank you for your participation in that. And for our performance for this evening, an extremely funny and witty individual has been on multiple shows, and we're very lucky to have him tonight. And his name is Tahran Van Grasri. We would love to have him come up and entertain us for a bit.
What's up? Yeah. Yeah, thank you for inviting me. Anaheim is my favorite Arab country. It's beautiful here. It's amazing. It's so nice to be here. It's the most beautiful Detroit, that's the worst Arab country. But Anaheim is very nice, and it's a very diverse groups of people. Big round of applause for Nahla for making this happen. Thank you so much. You're amazing. It's just such a good-looking group of people, man. So beautiful. Everyone's beautiful. All the women are beautiful. All the men are bald. Hi, sir. How are you? It's nice to see you. It's like a table of bald men. This is so nice. And my favorite thing is you even have a black guy here. That's awesome, Nala. And even though you're bald, you're black, so it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for being here, sir. This is the most dangerous place in America right now, like right in this room. The FBI has been taking our pictures the whole time. You guys have a room full of Arabs and a comedian named Tehran speaking. And I'm not afraid of anyone in this room. I'm actually the most dangerous person here. Let me tell you, I'm half black, half Iranian. So I'm half black, half Persian. Yeah, in America right now, that's half nigga, half terrorist. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, carjack, hijack, I'm capable of anything. There's only one more person in here that's more dangerous than me. I met this little kid named Omar, cutest little kid, half Iraqi, half Palestinian. Yeah, kid. Yeah, woo. Never go to the airport, my dude. Like, you're never getting through. He was like 8 years old, had a beard. It was crazy. I love the kid. Nicest kid in the world. So that's why I have a lot of respect for what's going on here because, like, my dad's an immigrant, and I was raised, my neighbors were Arab, Palestinians, beautiful family, such a loving family, and I learned so much about the Arab culture from them. I learned, like, my favorite thing about the Arab culture, no one uses names. You guys have nicknames for everybody. Everybody gets a nickname, Habibi, Hayati. They even gave me a nickname, Yahmar, and it was so nice, because I was like, eat, Yahmar, eat. Go home, Yahmar, go home. They were so nice to me. It was so beautiful. And then they say yalla for everything. You guys say yalla, yalla. Yalla means hurry up, yalla, yalla. They even were like, yalla, yalla, go home, yalla, yalla, eat. Yalla, yalla, slow down. Yalla, slow down. It's the best. It's such a beautiful culture. That's why I actually went on tour. I've gone all over the world. I went to the Middle East. I went to Palestine, and it was beautiful. Yeah. And I felt right at home. I felt right at home because honestly, if being half Iranian, half black, basically I am Arab. You know what I'm saying? If you go down from Iran, up from Africa, blah, 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 Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the same. It's the same. So it was so beautiful to be in Palestine. It was amazing. And I want to let all the Americans know, sir, what is your name? Black sir. Black sir, I don't know. What's your name? What's your name? What is it? Greg, beautiful name. You can't do that with everybody. There was a white family sitting over there at table 38, and there's another white family. I saw where all the white people were sitting first. And I loved it. Your name's Greg? You can't do that. Like, do you know what this guy's name is right there? Can you guess his name? No, it's that's his name. That's his name. K-H-H. That's his name. You can't do that with Middle Eastern names. I just want you to know because as an American, we're all Americans in this room. And a lot of people in America have a bad perception of the Middle East. They think that Palestine is like this war-torn place. And yeah, it's different than America, but a lot of things are the same. A lot of things are the same. Some things are different. Some things. They have a lot of things in Palestine we don't have here in America. And we have a lot of things in America that they don't have there in Palestine. Sure. Like in America, we have these things called laws. They don't have those in Palestine. I didn't know. Like in America, a stop sign means stop. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like a stop sign means stop. Unless you're Asian, it means stop. Like you stop. In Palestine, a stop sign was just a suggestion. It was like stop, shu yani. Like they kept driving. Like I get out of the airport and there's this taxi driver and he's like, yalla, 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 we're late. Yalla, yalla, yalla. I'm like, late? You don't even know where I'm going. I don't know you. He gets me in the taxi car and he's driving fast. And even though we're in Palestine, there's so much traffic, he's still driving fast somehow in Palestine. He's driving fast, even through traffic. He's going as fast as possible. He's driving. He gets on the sidewalk. He kicks a goat out of the way. He gets back on. He's just driving, honking, driving. I said the whitest thing I've ever said in my life. I looked at him and I was like, excuse me, sir, can I have a seatbelt? Do you have a seatbelt? And he looked at me like he'd never heard it. He's like, seatbelt, you can have my belt. That's what he said. He'd never heard of a seatbelt. And he was smoking in my face the whole time, just smoking. Because all they do is smoke in the Middle East. All they do is smoke. You would think there's enough ways to die, but no. Let's add one more. Everybody's smoking. And they get mad when you don't smoke. They're like, I was standing there and they were like, bedachin, right? Bedachin. And I was like, bedachin? And they were like, bedachin, you bedachin? I was like, oh, no bedachin. They're like, no, bedachin. Like, bedachin, you want bedachin. And I was like, no, I don't bedachin. And then they were like, don't be a little girl, bedachin. And that was the girls who talked to me like that. Like it was scary. And the kids, these little kids, these beautiful little kids were walking around the streets all times of night. 3, 4 in the morning, they're just walking around still in the street. They don't care what time it is. They don't ever go home. And I saw a kid, and I walked up to him. He was like maybe 4 or 5 years old. I was like, hey, kid, hello? And he was like, what, nigger? I was like, no, you don't talk to me like that. What? You need to go home. It's late. And he was like, I'm working. I was like, you're working? He's like, yeah. I was like, what do you do? I drive taxi. I was like, you drive taxi? Yeah, bedachin? He said bedachin. He was 4 years old. I will say this. When I came back to America, a lot of my friends here, they were asking questions, and they didn't understand the Middle East at all. Like, for example, they thought in the Middle East, women walk behind the men. And if you know anything about Middle Eastern women, they don't walk behind their men. In the Middle East, women walk beside the men, and to be honest, it's the women who lead the way. The women lead the way. Yeah. Because there's a lot of landmines in the Middle East. That's why you can have 4 wives. That's why you're gonna, it's like, oh no, there goes Khadija. Bring me Fatima. Fatima, you. Yalla Imshi, you go. You have to understand. That's why so many women run Access. Nahla, Amira, MJ. You guys are all just women just running everything. That's crazy. Yeah, woo. It's also scary. My dad's the Persian one. And so when you were raised here, we're all mixed. We all have the same situation. You know, Middle Eastern parents love their kids more than anyone else. That's why we all still live at home. Do you understand? We're never allowed to leave. Like, Iranian kids, we are the real Iranian hostage crisis. Like, let us leave. Like, even now, when I wanted to leave the house, as soon as I touch the doorknob, my dad will come out of nowhere. My Baba will walk out of nowhere and be like, Tehran, you're leaving? He says it like I'm never coming back. Like, Tehran, you're leaving? I'm like, Baba, I'm leaving. I'll be back. This time of night? You're leaving this time of night? Baba, this time of night, it is 3 in the afternoon, Baba. Why? And I'll tell you why. Because all you do is watch the news. All you people do is watch the news. All the whole day. And it has to be bad news. If it's good news, you will change the channel and find bad news. Because you love bad news. You love, what's this? Oh, no. I'm leaving the house. I'm like, Bubba, I'm leaving. Where are you going? Bubba, I'm going to the mall. To the mall? Do you know what happened at the mall? 2 little kids, 8 years old. They were both going to be doctors. 2 little kids, 8 years old, they're going to the mall. They're getting kidnapped, murdered, and then killed at the mall. Don't go. Like, it's always dead. It's always something bad. It can't be something normal. So you go, and I'm like, Bubba, 2 little kids went to the mall, and they got kidnapped, murdered, and then killed at the mall? Which mall? Culver City? Beverly Center? No, in Nigeria, Bubba. It was on the news. In Nigeria. I'm like, and then when I'm like, Bubba, I'm going to go, stay there, die. Like, why? Why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't it be in the middle, you know? They can't. They're never, you know, one time, I saw something when I was a little kid. I'd never seen this before. I was 6 years old, 7 years old. I was going to school. I saw a white parent turn to their kid and say, I love you, Tim, or something. Tim, I love you, Tim. And I was like, I turned to my Bubba and I was like, Bubba, do you love me? And he looked at me and he said, of course I love you. Don't you know I love you? Who pays for everything? But that's how they show love. Even, okay, this is even for things like, we don't like celebrate like Christmas or anything, but my dad, he would see the other kids, they get stuff for Christmas. You know what I'm saying? American kids get stuff for Christmas. So what he would do is for Christmas, he would put gift wrap on the walls of the house. And then he would be like, Merry Christmas, you have a house. And that's your gift. Go clean your room. Like, because you live with the immigrant parent. And I'll be honest, immigration, okay, sometimes you guys don't tell us the truth. Everyone has a hard story. No one's story of immigrating to America is just, oh, I got on a plane and I came to America. No, it's always like, I was in Iran and there was a war and I'm walking all the way to America with no shoes. I had 2 $1 bills in my pocket, that's it. I gave Babak $1, he never paid me back. Babak est profuse. I'm walking here, I'm carrying you in my stomach for 9 months. And then I ask you to clean your room and become doctor, you did nothing. Like, it's never. Sometimes you guys tell us these stories. I had to ask my dad, if you filled out college applications, you know how they lie to you. I didn't know my dad's name because I've been calling him Bubba for 18 years. I didn't know his name. So I had to ask him his full name. I was like, Bubba, for the college application, I need to ask you questions. He looked at me like I was the CIA and I was interrogating him. That's how they look at you, like I'm CIA. I was like, Bubba, what's your full name? He was like, my full name? I'm like, yeah, Bubba, your full name. He was like, tell them. I was, tell them? There is no tell them. What's your name? Or how come some of you have 2 birthdays? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the 2 birthdays thing? Yeah, Greg, that's a federal offense. Do you understand how many people here have 2 birthdays, buddy? When's your birthday, Greg? What day? Boom, July 21st, and that's it. Do you understand? Nahla, when's your birthday? September 4th, October 9th. Like, I don't. But I will say this, if you get a chance, Greg, you should be friends with someone of a different culture, which you are, but fall in love with someone of a different culture. I mean, sure, you're black, their parents will kill them, but hey, I don't write the rules, bro. I don't write the rules, I just read them. I fell in love with this Indian girl, and I learned so much about their culture and their language and their smell. It was very cool. I learned so much, and but she did this thing, everything, she drove me crazy. Everything I would say, she would remember everything I say and remember it and bring it up and use it against me all the time. She would use it. Sometimes I'd be like, I don't feel comfortable, I need my lawyer. Like, it was crazy. Everything I said, she would use it against me all the time. And I kept getting mad at her, and I realized it's not her, it's her culture. Did you guys know that? Indian women, they remember everything you say, every small detail, every little thing. It's their culture. Did you know that, Greg? Yeah, that's why they all have that red dot on their forehead. She was recording me every time I spoke. Can I live? Another thing people need to know is the difference between like Arab, Iranian, Armenian. Are there any Armenian people here? Good, let's talk about them. Listen, they're not here. No, I have a lot of respect for Armenian people. Armenian people are an amazing, wonderful culture, an ancient culture, Greg, an ancient culture from the East. Amazing ancient culture from the East. 134 East, Glendale. I don't know how that's possible. All Armenians live in Glendale, bro. All of them. The capital of Armenia is the Glendale Galleria. Do you understand? And they all work at every Wells Fargo you walk into. I don't know how that's possible. My best friend's Armenian. And people confuse him with Persian all the time, but he's not. He's Armenian. And I'll tell you something. Armenians are a little shady. They know they're shady, we know they're shady, but it's like, it's nice. But they have the best hookup in the planet. The Armenian hookup is the best hookup. I had to buy 4 tires for my car, and everybody thinks they have the best hookup. Arabs think they have the best discount hookup? No. Black people think they have the hookup? No. White people pay full price? Nothing. No. For everything. Armenians have the best hookup on the planet. I had to buy 4 tires for my car, $250 a tire. I spent $1,000 on tires. When I told Gergen, he had a heart attack for me. He was like, bro, are you stupid? I was like, why? He's like, bro, I could have got you Armenian hookup, bro. I was like, Gergen, I spent $1,000 on tires. How much could you have gotten me all 4 tires? You know what he said to me? He looked at me he said, $1,000 you pay? I could get you all 4 tires? $35, bro. That's what he said, $35. 35, and I was like, Gergen, that's impossible. He's like, no, bro, you have to do Armenian way. When you need new tires, Armenian way, Armenian hookup. You go to Enterprise, you get car like your car, you bring home. You take tire off Enterprise car, you put on your car, Enterprise gets surprised, you get 4 tires, $35, bro. That's the Armenian hookup. That's the Armenian hookup. You want to know why that's even funnier? When I tell this joke in Beverly Hills, all the Persian Jews are like, oh shit, that's a good idea. Why we not think of this one? This one's good. We live in a time in the world where you have to be aware. You have to be culturally aware. Even me as a black person, when I know I look black, I'm half black, I'm aware of it. Like, when I go to CVS and I buy stuff, I don't go to the self-checkout. No. I go to the cashier and I ask for the white woman. I don't want to just, because if you go to self-checkout, it looks like you're shoplifting. I'm not getting shot. You guys are laughing, but one time at Best Buy, they asked me if I wanted a receipt or email. I was like, you're going to give me all the receipts. I'm not walking out without a receipt. The other day, I was at a restaurant, and there was this white lady, and she went to the bathroom, and she left her purse right next to me, and it was open. Is she crazy? I went to her. I was like, excuse me, ma'am, your purse is here. You're not going to leave it next to me. Because what's going to happen is she's going to lose something, and what's she going to say? The black guy stole it. I know. We have to be aware of these things. Did you know they invented an app that tells you if people are racist? Yeah, it's called Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. You just read people's statuses, and they're so racist. I'm going to read you a status I wrote, actually. People wrote a very horrible status. Not all terrorists, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslim. Yeah, that's what they said. So I wrote, in a time of tragedy, fear and hate is not the answer. Love is the solution to all the world's problems. Yeah. You know what the first response I got? Go back to your country. Go back to your country. I'm black and Persian. Nobody wants me. Where do I go? You know what I'm saying? Like, go back to your country. And then here's the thing that made it crazy. This is what made it even crazier. This is a person who wrote this, and they meant it, is a person I've known basically my whole life, someone who I love, or respect, or respected, someone who I thought I knew them. And this is what's happening in the world, is we're learning the truth about people and how they feel. And that's very sad. I didn't even respond on Facebook. I was mad, I was upset, I was disappointed. Honestly, I was hurt. I was very hurt. Go back to your country. How do you say that to someone? I didn't respond on Facebook. I didn't give him satisfaction. I called him. And I was like, Bubba, you can't write this stuff on my Facebook, Bubba. What's wrong with you? What's wrong? He just got his citizenship like 2 weeks ago, this guy. He was like, go back to your country and take your black mother with you. I'm like, Bubba, what's wrong with you, bro? That's why you have to be aware. You know we're all being programmed. You know that, right? We're being programmed by the news. The news programs us. Can we agree as a crowd that none of us would ever, never, ever fly to Malaysia ever? Do you not watch the news? Every flight to Malaysia disappears. Every flight to Malaysia, and they don't even tell you why. They're like, flight 757 to Malaysia, gone, back to you, Bob. It's like, no, Bob, what happened to flight 757? They don't tell you. I didn't even know where Malaysia was. I Googled it, and it looks amazing. Beautiful country. The images looked amazing. But if I won free tickets to Malaysia, I'd be like, no, nigga, I'm good. Like, I would never go. Are you out of your mind? And this is the thing. I don't want to make a joke out of something serious. The flights have disappeared. We don't know where the people are. The news isn't telling us the truth. We need to think for ourselves. My heart goes out to the people on the flight. My heart goes out to even more to the people at home that don't know where their loved ones are. They don't know where their loved ones are. But Greg, do you know who my heart goes out to more than all of them? There's this guy who lied to his wife and said he was going to Malaysia for business for the weekend, but he went with his friends to Vegas. Guys, he can never go home. Do you understand? His alibi disappeared. It's gone. He's still in Vegas today. He can never go back home. The flight is gone. So that's why I'm always very impressed with Access California and the work that you do in the community. It's amazing. I'm impressed with all the sponsors that came out and were here. Pure Aqua and everyone. Every year I come, the sponsors get more and more. Even though when the guy came up here and was asking for donations, everyone started looking that way, but whatever. It's okay. I'm even impressed that you were smart enough, Nahla, to have Tariq, such a good guy, as your MC. You found the whitest looking Arab you could think of. And you were like, no, Tariq. And if they ask you, just say your name is Tom. Smart. That was smart. Yeah. That's like the Muhammad Idris stuff where he says, my name is Mike. Smart, bro. Be smart. I love it. And I know I have to go. I appreciate all of you for having me. I don't ever talk about politics. I never talk politics. Anna, I hope you win everything you're running for. You're a Democratic. She won? That's amazing. Can you help us out with our parking tickets? That's all we... Nothing? Okay, I'm not voting for you again. Listen, what I'm saying is I don't talk politics. To me, it doesn't matter, Democrat, Republican, left wing, right wing, same bird, guys. Same bird. That's how America works. I don't talk politics. But I do talk about principles. And I talk about immigration because immigration is a principle that's close to my heart. My father has been in this country for 30 years, and he loves the United States. He loves it. This is his home now, and he loves it here. He'll always love Iran, but he loves America. 30-some years my dad has been in this country, and every year his English gets worse. I don't know how that's even possible. I don't even understand when he says, Tehran, why you not doctor? That's all he ever says to me. Tehran, why you not doctor? And I had to have a very serious conversation with my dad. I had to tell my dad recently that I was gay. Now, I'm not gay, but I thought it'd be easier to tell him that I'm gay than that I wasn't going to become a doctor. I felt like it would be easier for him. And I told him, I was like, Bubba, I'm gay. And he was like, I know. And I was like, no, Bubba, I'm not. Bubba, I was kidding. He's like, oh, that's why you're always going to the mall. But then he said something I never expected. He looked at me and he was like, Tehran, even though you're gay, I know you're my son and I love you. I know. He'd never said that. He was like, and I love you. And as long as you become a gay doctor, I will always love you. But if you don't, go there, stay there, die. I was like. So I wanted to show my dad where my life was. And growing up, I remember my father was a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers. And I don't mean LeBron James Lakers. I don't even mean Kobe Bryant Lakers. I mean Magic Johnson and the Showtime Lakers, yeah. My Bubba loves Magic Johnson. So 2 months ago, I did something special. I surprised my father and I took him to Magic Johnson's birthday party. Yeah, I took him. And in the car, I didn't tell him where we were going. He's always loud. He's like, Tehran, where are you taking me? Why are you not doctor? The whole time. That's all he said the whole time. As soon as we get there and he realizes where we were, he was like, oh, this is Magic Johnson. And he was so shocked. He didn't even say anything the rest of the time. He was so quiet. Usually he's so loud and energetic. He was quiet. He wouldn't even sit down in the chair. We were supposed to sit next to Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. He wouldn't sit there. He was like, no. And everybody was there. Jay-Z was there. Beyonce was there. Oprah was there. I thought we were going to get cars. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. I thought. Magic Johnson comes out. They bring a big cake for him. And we're singing happy birthday. My Bubba wouldn't even sing along. He wouldn't even sing happy birthday. Finally, at the very end, I'm like, Bubba, sing. At the end, he was like, happy birthday for the you. It was so cute. It was so cute. I'd never seen him be so shy. And they bring the cake, and Magic Johnson blows out the candles. And this is why it's important. My Bubba got up, and he went and stood in the corner, and he was being shy and by himself and alone. Magic Johnson, who's a 5-time MVP, 6-time champion, one of the owners of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Magic Johnson, who's a billionaire, who, if he was here, he would have donated money. Magic Johnson cut the cake up into little pieces, and then Magic Johnson himself saw my Persian immigrant dad in the corner being shy and alone and by himself. Magic Johnson took a slice of cake over to my Persian dad and said, thank you, sir. I appreciate you for being here. And that's how I feel about all of you. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you all. Nala, thank you for what you do. My Bubba just held the cake in his hand, and he just looked at Matt. He didn't know what to say. He was like, and then Magic Johnson looked at me, gave me a head nod, and walked away. And I'm going to tell you, I don't cry, but I had tears in my eyes because I could only imagine what it felt like for my Bubba. This is Magic Johnson, a living legend, an icon, a person he's looked up to my whole life, handed him a slice of cake and said, thank you, I appreciate you for being here. I'll never forget what my dad said when he finally talked. He held the cake in his hand, and he looked at me, and he said, Tehran, don't eat the cake has AIDS. That's what my Bubba said about this cake. And I was like, Bubba, you're not allowed to say that, Bubba. What's wrong with you? The cake doesn't have AIDS. He's like, of course it has AIDS. He's over there blowing the candle. he's coming over to me. Would you like a fork for this? How about no? You're magic. I'm not magic. If I get AIDS, I die. Obama doesn't even care no more. Why are you bringing me here? I'm watching the news. Magic Johnson has AIDS. Don't bring me here. What, you want me to die? What's next? Usher's gonna hand out herpes cupcakes? I'm not touching nothing. I was like, Bubba, you're not allowed to say that, Bubba. You can't get AIDS from a cake, Bubba. What's wrong with you? And he goes, oh, you can't get AIDS from a cake? How do you know? Did you become a doctor like I told? Guys, my name's Tehran. Nahla, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you. Bring up the whitest Arab in the world. Tariq, come back up, bro.
Whitest Arab in the world. Thank you. Thank you. Tehran, if you could actually come up, we would love as many Access California members, staff members to come and join us, take a picture with Tehran. That'd be wonderful if we could do that. Can we get some people up here, hopefully? Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sponsors. Thank you, Hilton Hotel. We really appreciate everything. Thank you for coming to the 2019 Access California Services Gala. We hope to see you again next year. Please donate as generously as you can. The services definitely need it. And again, thank you so much, and we hope to see you again.